Support comes from Dean Heating and Cooling, keeping homes cool all summer with Tempstar. Dean Heating and Cooling provides HVAC service and installation in the Athens area, featuring Tempstar quality you can feel. Additional support from Donato's Pizza, featuring pizza, subs, salads, and catering from their Athens location at 688 East State Street. Information at donatospizza.com or 740-592-5049. Support comes from the O'Neill Hartman Insurance Agency, a local Erie insurance agent serving southeastern Ohio, providing professional service to individuals and businesses. Information at o'neillhartman.com. Support comes from Ohio's 529 College Advantage, helping families save tax-free for college and career training nationwide for 35 years. Information on Ohio's 529 can be found at collegeadvantage.com/Bobcats.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Gridiron Glory. I'm your host, Donovan Varney, and I've got to tell you, this week we are shifting into high gear. The season is winding down, the standings are tight, conference races are in their final lap. Here's what we've got lined up for tonight. Jackson and Miami Trace take the front row. Wheelersburg and Minford are behind them. Then we got Fairland and Cold Grove, Warren and Fort Fry, and Bloom-Carroll and Hamilton Township in the middle. Lastly, we saved our heavy hitter for the back, our game of the week, Tri-Valley at Sheridan. So let's start our engines. The FAC conference race is nearing its last lap, and right now, Jackson and Miami Trace are neck and neck. Garrett Kiefer joins us now from Miami Trace with more on how the FAC is rounding out.
Yeah, you said it. Conference title races are being decided head-to-head this week, and in terms of their history in the FAC, you couldn't have picked two more polar opposites between Jackson and Miami Trace. The FAC has been around since just 2017, so while their history isn't exactly rich, it's been mostly run by Jackson. Get this, the Ironmen haven't lost 3 conference games ever, with the last loss of theirs coming in 2020. However, Miami Trace is undefeated this year, and the winner of this game clinches at least a share of the title, and both head coaches know this one is the biggest between the two in a long time.
Well, this rivalry has been pretty big for several years now, but it doesn't get any bigger than this. You know, I'm thinking back last time we played a team that was undefeated this late in the year. It's been a long time, so it brings a lot of excitement. Playing at their place. Again, being 8-0.
I mean, in order to be a champion, you have to beat the champion, and these guys have invested a lot into this season. I mean, this is a team that is, has prepared themselves in the off season. This is a team that has, done everything that we've asked for.
I've got a surprise for you all here. Check this out. Camo jerseys for the first time for the Panthers. This is the first play from scrimmage to start. Julian Baker rips one off to get it going up early, 7-0. Miami Trace gets it right back from a turnover, and Cooper Enix takes it in. Whoa. What a start for the Panthers. Jackson needs a response quick. The Ironman would get it. Stay with me here. Charlie Woodard punches it in to go down a touchdown. Now Jackson off a turnover, and Bodie Wolford with the sneak. It's tie game all of a sudden. Still the first quarter, too. Now the Ironman again. It's Ryan Simons showing us some moves, and he reaches it in to take their first lead of the game. I told you all they were quick. Miami Trace running the 2-minute drill. Baker punches it in. Missed extra point, though, and that had the Panthers down a point at half. Out of the half here, Simons again streaking down the sideline. He leaps forward, and Jackson has the lead again. Oh man, hitting the MJ struck too. The Panthers go ahead and march down the field. It's Baker again getting into the end zone. Not 1, not 2, but 3 for him to tie it back up. On 4th down, Wolford's going to place an absolute dot to take the lead right back, and here we go. Jackson milks the clock and punches it in late to win it 41-27. Wolford tuned the noise out to lead the team to the win.
Oh yeah, I mean, we don't really listen to any of that, to be really honest. The past 4 years, really, we've seen a bunch of, picking other teams over us, but we know, the league runs through us, right?
Jackson battles back again for what's now their signature win this season. Based on what I saw, the Ironmen seem to have that same confidence we're used to seeing from them.
Yeah, their confidence is back, and that's key. After the Ironton game, Coach Hall told me that they really just haven't been playing as tough as they're used to. So what did they do to combat that? Live tackle drills in practice. I saw them. They go pretty hard in practice, and you saw that toughness tonight on display. Some of these tackles were great. All of a sudden now, Jackson back in control. What a big statement win.
Yeah, for Jackson, that's at least a share of the conference title for the 5th straight year. Not many programs get to experience dominance like that right now.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is what we call a dynasty, right? Lots of excitement for sure. Both Wolford and Coach Hall both told me, there's still a game next week, though, right? Next up is beating Chillicothe and taking that title outright.
Yeah, and from looking at these celebrations, vibes seem to be pretty high tonight.
Yeah, then again, 1 win away from 5 seasons in a row without a conference loss. I already said it once, I'll say it again. This is a dynasty, Donovan. All right, it's all business for the Ironmen. You still got next week. Hopefully for them, try and fight for a bye, and then it is playoff time.
Yeah, big statement win to kick off the night. Get back safe, Grant. Well, on another note, the Wheelersburg Pirates are undefeated and rolling towards the playoff with a roster of guys stepping up right now. But for one of those players, this season took an unexpected turn. Ty Carpenter traveled to Berg this week and joins me now to tell a story.
Yeah, Landon McGraw fought hard for a starting role this offseason. He's just one of many Pirates grinding through an undefeated season. But right before Wheelersburg's biggest test of the year, Landon would receive a phone call that would change his life. That news entirely separate from the gridiron.
Stop picking it up.
You just got to pick it up, I thought.
No, push it.
Oh, okay.
On the field, Wheelersburg's Landon McGraw blends right in, one of many Pirates pushing through drills and chasing a state title.
What in the world?
Yeah, bear crawl.
But a few weeks ago, right before the Pirates' biggest game of the season against rival Ironton, Landon's night took a sharp turn. Just hours before kickoff, he learned he would head to American Idol.
It was hard getting that news and then going to try and play the biggest game of the year. So I shoved it down. I was like, all right, this did not happen. I did not just do this. I got to play a football game.
That same night, Wheelersburg went on to upset the reigning state champs, a game Landon says he'll never forget.
After the game, all my emotions just spurted out. Like it was, I say, one of the best days of my life.
But when he's not in pads, Landon picks up a guitar. He started playing music in middle school during the pandemic, a passion he says started with a funny story.
I ended up going to this church camp the year before COVID, and there were some girls there that I wanted to impress. I didn't really have a whole lot going for me right there. I was just a little redhead kid that didn't know a whole lot of nothing. I said, well, I like to play music. I like to sing. So I was like, I don't know how to do any of that. So I came back from the summer camp, and I was like, dude, I got to learn.
That moment turned into a passion, and now he performs any chance he gets.
I don't even know how to really put it into words, but what I love most is that he's not afraid to do hard things.
He spends a lot of time, even though we're telling him to go to bed, he's still singing, and staying up late, and that's just how he operates, but it's been fun.
Landon's living 2 dreams at once, playing for a state contending football team, and one that could land him on a national stage. But for him, it all comes back to where it started, his community.
There's no other community I'd rather do it for. I feel like it's my job now to go out and make them proud.
Now, of course, this is a football show, and Landon, well, he had a football game to play tonight. Berg has the chance to clinch a share of the conference, so let's waste no more time because Berg didn't waste any either. There's McGraw, but let's go to another Pirate to start. Elijah Brown starting off, cutting outside, and there is not a soul near him. Count the opening drive score for the Berg. But here's a different running back, going to be the same result though. It's Stephen Hall with the carry and diving in, keep piling on. Now I don't usually show 2-point conversions, but this one feels appropriate. Landon McGraw is going to moss that Minford defender. Urian Knight. Berg took this one 56-6. And now, like I mentioned, that win officially clinches a share of the conference for Wheelersburg, but you still got to look ahead. Portsmouth West won tonight, and if they upset Berg next week, they also get a share.
Yeah, big title game coming up. We'll be looking forward to it. Thanks, Ty. Now, over in the OVC, Cole Grove stands alone at the top of the conference this year after a 3rd-place finish just the year before. Lucy Schaefer is here now with how they were able to turn things around.
Yeah, Donovan, at this time last year, Fairland sat comfortably at the top of the OVC, but this time it's Cole Grove with the perfect conference record. And 4-0 is big for the Hornets. They're on the hunt for their first OVC championship since 2017 with the help of their main man, Caden Murphy. Now, Murphy had nearly 2,000 all-purpose yards during his junior season. So far this year, he has 1,500 rushing yards and 20 touchdowns. Murphy's ran for over 200 yards in 5 of Colgrove's 8 games while leading his team to their first perfect conference record in Week 9 since 2017. And now it's time to find out if they'll keep that perfect conference record. Senior night in Cole Grove, here all the guys walking out together under beautiful skies. And things are certainly beautiful for Caden Murphy from the jump. 8-yard touchdown on the first drive, 2-point conversion successful, and here's the ensuing kickoff. Ball picked up in the back by Aiden Trimble, who looks like he may have something going, but Landon McKnight is going to have something to say about that. Big hit to stop him short. Nothing for Phelan there, and Cole Grove is pushed back near their own 10-yard line because of penalties. But who else to step in and save the day but Caden Murphy? It will get called back due to a Hornets holding penalty. You saw that flag fly early in the run. But with the help of Murphy and among others, they turned a 2nd and 41 into a 4th and 1 and convert. Caden Turner finishes it off here for 6. Legendary series for Cole Grove. Now we're toward the end of the first half, and it's big man Turner taking off again, 39 yards down the sideline, 22-0 at halftime, and Cole Grove steals it 30-0 with the Cadence at the helm. With this win, Cole Grove clinches their first OVC title since 2017. Portsmouth ties with Rock Hill for 2nd after 3 straight conference wins. Fairland and Gallia Academy take number 4. Chesapeake won against Rock Hill tonight in their first season win, and South Point rounds it out. Certainly one Cole Grove won't forget. This was their first win against Fairland in 7 seasons.
Yeah, a lot can happen in 7 seasons for sure, but what was the deal with the Dragons tonight?
And it's not just tonight, this game. The Dragons went from a veteran team to a relatively young one this season, shifting from senior Ethan Wall to sophomore Owen Burcham at quarterback.
Yeah, this was Fairland's first time being shut out all year. How'd Cole Grove crack them?
Although the defense had some good plays, the offense was inconsistent and almost seemed incomplete at times. You've got veteran receivers on that team, including Connor Black, who wasn't used on that side of the ball. Fairland is now 2-4 in the OVC, a record we haven't seen from them in a while.
Okay, and back to Cole Grove. What a performance from them tonight, and honestly all season so far.
And they advanced to 5-0 in conference, scoring an average of 36 points per game in those games. Now, we've talked about him, but we can't stop now. Head coach Jay Lucas told us Caden Murphy is one of the best players in Southeast Ohio, and it shows. He's able to make big plays whenever with his dynamic play style. This team is him, and it's that guy, Caden Turner. These two run the Cole Grove offense. Now, next week, Cole Grove will finish their season at Rock Hill. Safe to say the OVC has kept it interesting this season.
Yeah, they certainly have. What a surprising finish, but thanks for the good work, Lucy. For more of all of tonight's games, head over to our social media pages for video recaps, highlights, photos, and more. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, TikTok, you name it. And don't forget to catch the game previews from all of our Showtime games on the pregame huddle out on Thursdays and Fridays. Well, we've got a couple more games to hit on tonight, and you know what? I'm just going to let digital host Josh Herner take it from here.
Yeah, Donovan, we've seen 3 teams clinch their conference already. We have a few more who can do so in the extra point. Starting off at Grove City Christian, where the MSL Cardinal title is on the line between the Eagles and Fisher Catholic. There's the captains meeting and shaking hands before this crucial contest. You're going to see it right here. GCC is already up a score heading into the second, and watch QB Douglas Housley. He's going to add on to it. He connects with Josiah Harmeyer for the score, 14-zip Eagles, and here comes another Housley score in the air, this time hitting Tide and Timlin for a touchdown. Eagles now take a 21-point lead, and you know what? Why not make it score number 4 for Housley? Bennett Cook finds the end zone before half. GCC clinches a share of the Cardinal, winning 41-0. Now let's head over to the other side of the MSL for Fairfield Union, Amanda Clear Creek. Aces up 7 and have the ball. They're going to try and run a triple option, but it doesn't go as planned. The Falcons are going to get the loose ball and recover the fumble, and next drive, they're going to capitalize. Lane Burkhart runs in the score from a few yards out. However, still a 1-point Aces lead, but Fairfield Union is going to get another score. Dean Clark runs it in. 21-14 Falcons at half, and they win 34-14. Now next up, we got the MVL Small as New Lexington is trying to win the conference outright. Running back Paul Stenson is going to get the opening score from 2 yards out. Panthers up a score just 30 seconds into this game, and let's stay in quarter one. 30 seconds left, and it's Tyson Spicer getting the carry on the sweep. Watch him scan the field. Nothing but open field ahead of him. 51 yards score for Spicer. Panthers go on to win by 39, and they win the conference outright. And our final game is Waterford taking on Trimble, and there's legendary coach Phil Ferris, who announced his retirement last week, but it's Waterford who gets the first score. Hayden Jones, short yardage TD, and on the next Wildcats drive, Avery Popmeyer is going to throw a dot to Gavin Heener. Waterford now up 14, but now it's Weston Fairchild's turn for a score. This time, Waterford now going to go up 38. They take home the win and clinch a share of the conference, but let's go back over to Trimble and Fairs. It's safe to say Coach Ferris is a Tomcat through and through, starting his coaching career as an assistant 2 years after graduating from the school in 1977, and it's certainly been a very successful career for him. You see the numbers, over 250 career wins, and he's also had a ton of success in the postseason. 23 playoff wins, including 2 runs to the state finals in 2013 and 2018. Ferris will end his career as the second longest tenured coach in TVC history, spending 32 seasons as the Tomcats head coach. Donovan, it's certainly been one heck of a career for Ferris.
Yeah, it certainly has. Wishing him the best of luck in his retirement. Thanks, Josh. But another coach continuing an illustrious career is Fort Fry's Eric Huck. In his 18th season, Huck has led the Cadets to 6 straight wins heading into Week 9. Tonight, Fort Fry takes on Warren in Game 2 of TSL play, and Ashley Fry joins us to talk about the Cadets' dominance so far this year.
Yeah, Donovan, after a tough loss to Barnesville in Week 1, Fort Fry has not taken their foot off of the gas. That Week 1 loss to Barnesville, like I just said, lit a fire underneath the Cadets, and they have been bulldozing opponents ever since, going 6-0, shutting out Wheeling Central, Waterford, Greenbrier West, and Marietta, all while having the 9th hardest schedule in D6. They currently sit at number 3 in Region 23 and have a 97% chance at a first-round bye. But tonight, their eyes are set on the TSL title. The race for it continues in Beverly against reigning champion Warren, and that's where we're starting with Warren's ball. Opening drive of the night, and out of nowhere, Sam Bricker with an interception to get the Cadets going, and this would set Grady Hessen up for an easy quarterback sneak right there. Fort Fry up early, a forced turnover, and a few plays later, Fort Fry in optimal position again. That was Grady Hessen to Gavin Roush, touchdown Fort Fry. Now 5 seconds left in the first quarter. Back to Warren. Declan Johnson with this beautiful ball to Eric Carr, setting the Warriors up in the red zone to start the second quarter. Now 4th and 3, and let me tell you, this Fort Fry defense, they are dogs, and dogs protect their house. Stopped a yard away from a touchdown. Fast forward, Warren with the ball back, but it does not matter. That's Clayton Tullius with a 60-yard pick six. This team is nasty. 22-0 Fort Fry. Back to Warren again, and you'll never guess it. Tice Beardsley with another Fort Fry interception. Nothing would come of this, and with 15 seconds left in the first half, Tanner Peppers going to do what he does best. Big catch. He's going to break a tackle here, and Warren finally on the board. This momentum would not carry to the second half, though. Fort Fry's going to take this one 46-8. Wow. Now, if you thought that was a lot to take in, watching this game in person was even more insane.
Yeah, obviously, you talked about Fort Fry's dominance earlier, but their defense in particular has been crazy.
Oh, absolutely, Donovan. This defense is genuinely relentless. They're extremely aggressive, but they still remain incredibly poised. They had next to no penalties throughout the entire game, and this is how this defense has been all season long.
Yeah, so defense is incredible, but as always, we still do have to talk about this offense.
Oh, I 100% agree, because they are as dominant as ever, and honestly, I have to give this to Coach Huck. He's dynamic at calling plays. He purposefully creates chaos, lots of pre-snap motion, lots of play-action passes. They're just an incredibly confusing team, but they wear it very well. Now, Fort Fry is going to look to clinch the TSL title next week against Point Pleasant, but honestly, if they keep playing this way, it'll be incredibly hard to stop them.
Oh, yeah. Keeping momentum heading into the playoffs is definitely going to be big. Thanks, Ashley. Well, let's see how good you guys are at guessing. According to our numbers, the 78% of you that chose Fort Fry, well, you nailed it. Make sure you check out our Instagram story every Friday morning so you can place your vote on who you think will win. For our next one, it was actually split right up the middle, 50-50 between Bloom-Carroll and Hamilton Township. We'll see how you did in just 1 second. But first, we've got to fill you in on the MSL Buckeye. Bloom-Carroll hasn't lost a game in conference since 2023, and that was at the hands of Hamilton Township. And tonight, the two meet again, both undefeated in conference. Reporter Charlie Ehlenfeld joins me with more.
Thanks, Donovan. This game is eerily similar to the Week 9 game in 2023 that decided the MSL Buckeye, a matchup that ended Bloom's 4-year undefeated stretch in the conference. 1 year removed from a state title berth, Bloom-Carroll went into that game loaded with talent, like Bulldog stalwarts Ethan Thantanavong, Dylan Armentrout, Michael Stevenson, and more. But it was the Rangers who pulled away in the final moments, riding incredible performances from Josh Woods and Javon McBride, winning by a field goal. Not only are these teams on a collision course for the conference, this game will be vital to determining Division III Region 11. Both teams excel on their sides of the ball. The Bulldogs have been a force on defense, and the Rangers have lit up the Buckeye on offense. The Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs came to Alumni Stadium looking to avenge their last game on the Rangers field, but the Rangers got things underway on senior night. First Rangers drive, Lucas King looking for Javon McBride in the end zone, and you can't do that. Pass interference puts Hamilton Township on the goal line, and Kal-El Beverly Aiken punches it into the end zone. Plays later, bruising his way through the teeth of Bulldogs defense. Rangers ahead 7-0 after one drive. But he wasn't the only back ready to deliver some haymakers. Kyson Klein met in the backfield and shedding every Ranger to earn a gutsy first down. And a play later, Aiden Scholes hammering through contact, getting outside the tackles, and somersaulting into the end zone, and we're all tied up. A few drives later, Scholes again smashes through the center of the defense before leveling one more defender for 6. Bloom, 14-7. While he might be called Kal-El, he was Bloom's kryptonite. Beverly Aiken gets to the outside and bounces off of one defender and lets them know. Hamilton Township ties it up out of the break, but they couldn't keep it up. Klein was tired of jabs, and he was ready to land the knockout blow. He sheds 3 Rangers before breaking out for a 58-yard touchdown run. The Bulldogs secure a conference share for the 8th consecutive season, winning 28-17.
Big win, and well, the Rangers did hang around, but it was really Bloom's defense and some smart play that made the difference.
Yeah, well, tonight, defense certainly won the championship, and they struck when it mattered the most.
Yeah, well, Charlie, 5 turnovers tonight for the Rangers. That's almost impossible to overcome against any football team.
You're absolutely right, and it wasn't just the turnovers, it's where they happened. Hamilton Township had 2 goal-to-go situations and came away with 0 points. That stings when you lose by 2 possessions.
Yeah, and we saw an incredible ground game tonight. Kal-El Beverly Aiken and Kyson Klein made their presence known for sure.
Yeah, Donovan, what was most impressive is what they did after contact. The offensive lines did an excellent job tonight, but when these two had to fight through a defender in the backfield or at the second level, they were unstoppable. And honestly, I feel bad for the guys who had to try to tackle them tonight. We're still waiting on some of the results for Region 11, but with a win tonight, the Bulldogs gave themselves a fighting chance for a first-round bye. By contrast, Hamilton Township will likely be playing in the first round, but still control home field. Now, the Bulldogs could secure a bye, but they need a little bit more help this time in the NBL.
Yeah, tonight's game of the week will determine a lot when it comes to Region 11. Thanks for the good work, Charlie. Now it's time to see what you guys were all up to tonight. This week, I got to stop by Sheridan for the first time, and it's safe to say both the Generals and Scotty's fans made sure my trip was memorable.
Would you look at that? Corn.
All right, Deacon, you look cold.
Yeah, I'm very cold.
Did you lose a bet?
No. I do this for the fun of it.
Give me a little circle for the fit check. Yeah, you put that on, twin. What's stopping you from getting in the game right now?
I have no idea.
Is it the Generals? Is it the Red Rage?
We are the Generals,
yeah.
But we got the Red Rage.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a disease.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, bet. You got it bad. I wonder what this does. Smoke! It's smoke! It's a smoke machine! You just paint yourself? You're like, I got this.
I had some random people paint my back.
As one does. As one does.
Yeah.
I sure hope it's like up to code here, because sounds like they're about to fall through. If you had, I guess, like any other fit you could wear to the game, what would it be?
A sweatshirt and sweatpants.
Yeah, so lots of pink and lots to take in with the fans in Thornville, but even more to take in between these two teams. The NBL big winner could be decided tonight, and both teams had a lot to say before the big matchup.
Top 2 teams in the NBL, you're going to be bashing heads a lot.
They've always been one of the best teams we played.
It's the biggest game of the season. Everyone's looking forward to it.
I've grown up watching this game my whole life.
How much work we've put in this offseason and dedicated a lot of our work and grind to this moment.
Last year, I think it was the second drive of the game, I had an interception on the sideline that got the whole place fired up.
We're the most physical team. We'll come out and I think we can get the win.
It takes 11. All 11 on offense and all 11 on defense.
One's out for blood. We're all just fighting hard and trying to get the NBL title.
So if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will. Okay, so Andrew Bolby and Stephen Caroli join us now with more on just what's at stake tonight.
Well, Donovan, for these two schools, this is the game. The entire season comes down to this Week 9 meeting and how you perform in this rivalry.
Yeah, and for the last 4 seasons, this game has been decided who wins the Big. Let's take a look at the past 4 renditions of the MVL Big Super Bowl. Going back to 2021, Drew Burkhart, he throws for over 160 yards, winning on the road in Thornville. Then in 2022, Sheridan went to Dresden, won their 20th and most recent MVL title with a 1-point win.
Tri-Valley got back in the win column in 2023, scoring 14 in the fourth to rally over the Generals. And last season, Max Lyle put his stamp on the rivalry with a big game, leading Tri-Valley to a second straight title. And ahead of this monster collision, two of the best coaches in the region having a chat, and it would be Cam West's team landing the first punch. Watch this rush by Levi Wade. It appears he's wrapped up, but then he bounces outside, gets to the secondary. That's a statement on the opening drive. 7-0 Scotties.
Tice Whiteman now locked in on his favorite target, Logan Hupp, and this ball is absurd, but better coverage here from Grayson Foster. Just a couple plays later, Hupp and Whiteman redeeming themselves as the Generals tie things up for the first time.
And this is just 2 plays later after that. Tri-Valley giving the ball to Wade and let him go to work. He's going to score again from just a little bit further out. 59-yard lightning strike from Wade, and Tri-Valley takes a 14-7 lead to half.
Now you're going to see a bad sight for defenses here. Logan Hupp picking up steam, and he sees nowhere to go. Why not just become Superman for the moment? Hupp can't be denied. We're tied at 14, and he's going to let you know he's like that.
And how about another guy who can't be denied? Levi Wade shakes off a tackle, and he is off and running again at a 41-yard score to his night. Tri-Valley goes up 21-14.
And let's go back to Hupp. This time he's scrambling, looking, and throwing to Logan Jones to tie it up yet again at 21, but we got way more.
Into overtime, tied at 21. Wade puts the Scotties on his back with his 4th TD of the night, 29-21 lead.
Now time to answer, and from inside the 5, a gutsy but the right play call as Hupp makes the right decision, waltzes in. What was followed? Wade's 5th TD of the night to walk it off, 35-29. Scotties take the win. And here's a look at the comparison between these two stars. They went back and forth all night long, and it shows on the stat sheet.
It really does. They did everything in their power to win this game for their team, and Wade, of course, comes up with 2 of his scores in overtime to win it.
Yeah, for most of this game, you guys, you really could not tell which way the pendulum was just going to swing.
Yeah, and the playmakers on both sides of the game, they delivered, and this was truly an instant classic.
Yeah, it certainly was. But speaking of playmakers, it seems that someone has given us 264 reasons to talk about him.
Well, I would certainly say so. Levi Wade was just phenomenal in this game. He did everything Tri-Valley needed him to do, and he just wouldn't let his team lose. We saw 5 touchdowns on that graphic a moment ago, and 2 of them were in overtime, including the walk-off winner.
Yeah, and then on the other side, Logan Hupp was everywhere tonight on offense. He had a triple single, 3 touchdowns in 3 different categories, or 1 touchdown in 3 different categories, my apologies. But just unreal athleticism by this kid all night long. He's the type of kid who can knock you out of your shoes with a juke and then beat you right up the sideline. And these two put in absolute work tonight, Donovan.
Yeah, they sure did. I believe we just saw something that doesn't happen often in sports, you guys. A three-peat. Bolby, how are the Skies able to do it tonight?
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, this team is the premier program in the MVL Big. They've won titles on the road, and the fact they've won 3 in a row in this conference, it's just unbelievable. And I'll give you one thing here. The offense was obviously great with Wade tonight, but the offensive line was phenomenal. They blocked all night long, and it really led to this win.
Yeah, and then Sheridan just short again. In 2023, Tri-Valley had a big comeback in the 4th quarter. They lose that game. They play against a great Tri-Valley team last year, lose that game. And Tice Whiteman as well, I just want to mention, he played great tonight at quarterback for the Generals.
Yeah, just another thriller between these two schools. And Tri-Valley, they clinch outright with a win next week over John Glenn.
Yeah, and I think I could watch this game over and over and over again, guys.
Yeah, I definitely would. I'm with you on that. Thank you, guys. So no better way to round out our night than with some more highlights. There were a lot of impressive plays all across the board, but these were certainly the best. Our first play from Week 5 takes us back to Minford, but it's Wheelersburg bringing the heat. Braylon Rucker gets the QB keeper. Where's the ball? There he is. He splits the defenders and is gone. He's only got one guy to beat, and I'm pretty sure he's staring to his soul. Yeah, that'll play. On to number 4. I hope you like Caden Murphy because he's going to be running for a minute. Let me set the scene. 2nd and 24. Give it to your guy. Murphy takes a screen pass, gets some blocks, and is on the go. Flags are flying. He doesn't care. He's still going. He has to bob and weave through the Dragons defense as they catch up to him and bring him down inside the 20. Number 3 goes to Waterford and the Wildcats offense. Avery Potmeyer feels the low snap and steps into this one. Weston Fairchild's down there somewhere, one-on-one, and he comes down with a snag. Just short of the end zone, but too good to not make it. Number 2 comes from Brayson Hill. He's on here like every week, and you're about to see why. He's scrambling, nowhere to go but up. The kid was on a harness right there. Sure, you can't hurdle in high school, but that play belongs on Sundays anyway. And our top play comes from our game of the week. It's Logan Hupp on the sweep. He's going real fast and real left all the way down the sideline, takes flight over the defender. Ref says he's in, and so does everyone else in red. Yeah, I see you, bud. Well, it's time to let those engines cool off because that's all the high school football action we got for tonight. But don't worry, we've got something special for you all next week. We'll be live at Joe Burrow Stadium for the TVC Ohio title game between the Athens Bulldogs and the Nelsonville York Buckeyes. So stay tuned for that and the final standings from each of our conferences next week because there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Support comes from Dean Heating and Cooling, keeping homes cool all summer with Tempstar. Dean Heating and Cooling provides HVAC service and installation in the Athens area, featuring Tempstar quality you can feel. Additional support from Donato's Pizza, featuring pizza, subs, salads, and catering from their Athens location at 688 East State Street. Information at donatospizza.com or 740-592-5049. Support comes from Ohio's 529 College Advantage, helping families save tax-free for college and career training nationwide for 35 years. Information on Ohio's 529 can be found at collegeadvantage.com/Bobcats. Support comes from the O'Neill Hartman Insurance Agency, a local Erie insurance agent serving southeastern Ohio, providing professional service to individuals and businesses. Information at o'neillhartman.com.
You are watching WOUB TV in Athens and WOUC TV in Cambridge.
Art and science are forms of expression and inquiry, and actually the doors into them are pretty similar.
The relationship between art and technology is so rich and so long-standing.
In our culture, we like to put things into boxes. We very much like to say, this is art and this is science. You know, left brain, right brain. But this is not really the truth.